channel. My name is Joanna. If this is your first time visiting here, thank you for coming by. I hope you stay. I hope you find what you're looking for here. And maybe you'll find something you are not intentionally looking for. Something you were not intentionally looking for. My aim and my intention is to allow energies to come through me, higher frequency energies, in order to help us all become more of who we truly are in terms of powerful beings, embodying more of our true nature. And if you were drawn to this channel, or if somehow this ended up in front of your eyes, then chances are quite high, as in really high, that there is some information here that you would be beneficial for you to hear. So thank you for stopping by. If you would like to hear more of these messages, transmissions, click the notification button or subscribe, and this will let you know when I upload new content. I would love for you to subscribe if that's what you wish. It helps to grow this channel, and ultimately at the end of the day, if we can all embody more of our true essence, more of our potential, this will be a very different planet. So thank you so much, and I hope you stay. And share it with a friend of two if you feel they might find this beneficial. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for coming back. As I always say, without you listening to this, there would be no need for me to do what I do. And I absolutely love what I do. It makes me feel like I am at home when I connect with these higher frequencies. And it's a beautiful state of mind. It's a beautiful place to be. So this time we're going to focus on what is coming up for you in your next life's chapter. And I'm choosing to call this series, your next chapter begins now. So it'll be divided into 3 piles, and you will choose whichever pile you are drawn to the most, or whichever pile you are drawn to first, and then second and third. And likely there will be some information there for you to partake in. And okay, thank you. I'm being asked to say that when I channel, we are in, and you are listening, we are effectively in exchange of energies. So by watching and by being open, you are actively participating in this energetic exchange, which means this higher frequency will ultimately affect you in positive ways, as long as, of course, you are open. And if you are here listening to this and you are still here, then chances are you are open. And they really wanted me to say that right now, because what we are really all doing right now as human species, we are transitioning to higher frequencies. And the more we connect with higher frequencies, the more we absorb these higher frequencies into our bodies. What that essentially means is that the more we absorb higher frequencies into our bodies, which is a process in itself, it's a process of assimilation, we will effectively be holding more light within us. And at the end of the day, we are all light beings. We are currently having a physical experience. And the more light we hold within ourselves, the higher we vibrate. And the higher we vibrate as a collective, the higher we are as a collective. We vibrate higher as human species, and this obviously helps Mother Earth and everything that we are surrounded by. So you are in a frequency exchange right now. They really want me to push that. They really want, not push, sorry, wrong word. They really want me to express that by listening to this information, you are actively partaking in absorbing these higher frequencies as long as you are open. So if you are open, great. If you are not open, you wouldn't be here. So merely you being here means you are open. Okay, I don't want to take too long with introduction. Before we move on to the piles, if you haven't already done so, I developed a whole bunch of transformational tools that are absolutely free to you. And all you have to do is click on the button down below or on a link down below and get yourself these transformational tools that are ultimately designed to help you know yourself more, know yourself better, know yourself deeper, and as a result of that, make certain changes and transition to higher aspects of yourself. There's quite a few channeled meditations and also a masterclass on how to connect with your guides or your own inner guidance. So if you are looking to become more empowered, less fearful, more confident, and all that kind of wonderful stuff, do yourself a favor, click on the link below and get yourself going on these, on your journey, on your transformational journey. All right. So let me move on to the piles. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see what deck I'm being drawn to. I have 4 in front of me right now, and I'm being drawn to this deck. I'll put the link down below of what deck this is. It is a tarot deck. For those of you who don't know me, I am not a tarot reader. It's not my gift. I look at the cards, I know the basic meanings, but I ultimately draw message intuitively. So I may be shown a certain card, and the message I give to you may have nothing to do with the traditional meaning of the card, but it is being given to me. Something else is being given to me instead. So if you are a tarot reader and you see a certain tarot card and what I express about it is not what the meaning is, that's why. Because I do these things very intuitively. So your next chapter begins now. If you're drawn to pile 1, let's see what information wants to flow through to you, for you, in order to help you on the next phase of your human existence. And what I'm seeing first and foremost is that you are taking your blindfolders off of your eyes. You are beginning to see much more clearly. And at first, this can become a little bit startling. It's like wearing dark glasses all the time, and then all of a sudden being out in the sun and taking your glasses off. The sheer brightness of the sun hurts your eyes. It becomes very uncomfortable until you get used to it. So what that means is that you are likely in a space right now, in your own energetic space right now, where your own frequency is shifting to the point that it is helping you see things very, very differently. And if you are someone who comes from a black and white existence, and there's very few things that are black and white, most are in the grays. If you are coming from that kind of conditioning, black and white, good or bad, pretty ugly, very oppositional or dichotomy, if you come from that kind of a dichotomy, if that's the right phrase, then taking your blindfolders off or shifting your perspective might leave you feeling slightly uncomfortable. Because when we start to see things differently, when we start to see deeper into things, when we start to experience life from a different perspective, and we realize that what we used to deem as our truth and our foundation, it no longer is, that kind of an experience begins to rattle us a little bit, because it begins to disassemble, if you will, our former and current status quo and or our foundations. And our foundations, what I mean by simply saying our foundations, is our belief systems, our generational patterns, our ancestral ways of seeing things and doing things. And you are likely in a place right now, in your own space right now, where you are in a process of breaking generational patterns. One of these patterns I'm seeing is criticism. So if you are someone who is highly critical of yourself or others, and generally those two go hand in hand, then you are pulling back from this criticism, and you are realizing that your criticism is based on your very rigid set of rules and beliefs that you have been holding on to for quite some time, generationally actually. And you are beginning to assume a different identity. You are beginning to look at yourself and others and life differently, in less critical ways. The one thing that I will share with you, which I do once in a while because I believe it helps when I share personal experiences. A while ago, because I've been always extraordinarily critical of myself. It's something I've learned. It's a learned behavior. And I was very hard on myself. And I remember my guide at the time said to me, and I was also very critical of other people, full on disclosure. And I remember my guide at the time said to me, let go of criticizing yourself and notice how your level of criticism towards others is going to diminish. Boy, was he ever right. The more I realized how critical I was of myself, which was mostly unconscious, the more I realized that I was also critical of others because of it. And the more I embodied more of my true essence, which is, my true essence is a very loving essence, the more the criticism of myself fell away, and the more I saw others with the eyes of compassion, and I see them more as the light that they are versus the humanness that they're projecting. It completely shifts your world. So pile one, there are some pretty impressive changes in your next chapter, which is happening right now, that are taking place, that are going to take your life in a completely different and new direction. And you might have been asking for something for a very long time and you were not able to get it. But now, as a result of shifting your perception, particularly one to do with self-criticism, all of a sudden it's as if a cloak is being pulled from everything that was cloaked before, and you are able to see your chosen destination. It is a very freeing experience, but it is, I'm going to be honest, frightening at first, because that kind of a shift of perspective massively undermines your current ego, because your ego knows what it knows. It believes certain things, and that drastic of a shift or a change undermines the ego, and it is essentially quite uncomfortable. You are in a process of identity change. And change of identity is not a small thing. Change of identity more often than not denotes crossroads. So you are either at a crossroad right now, and as a result of the crossroad you are on, you are going to or beginning or to shift your identity, or you have been working on yourself, and as a result of that you are shifting your identity, which is putting you at crossroads. There is a big change on the way, and it is positive from what I can see. In fact, it's enormous, and for many of you, I see you going, oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God, I can't believe it, in a positive way. So I don't know what is in store for you in your own chapter. Maybe the cards will tell us. But it is quite impressive. Oh my God. It is quite impressive. And it is big for many of you. It is a shift of direction. And I see an open door in front of you, and it's wide open with no stop signs all over the place. There's nothing stopping you from going wherever you're intending to go. But this is new. In the past, you may have been trying to do that, but it wasn't happening. And it wasn't happening because you had blinders on. You couldn't see things clearly. And as a result of taking your blinders off, your entire world is opening up to you. And I'm seeing money being poured into your cup. You're being filled with abundance. So if you have been struggling with money, for example, or lack, which is often tied to our insecurities, whatever work you have been doing, and you must have been doing some work, or you've been, you can't shift like that without either something drastic happening, like you have a near-death experience, you go to the other side and you go, holy shit, and you come back and your entire world is changed because of what you've experienced. Or you are more likely, and that doesn't happen too often, or it's less likely to happen than you working on yourself. So whichever way you are shifting, through whichever means you are shifting, it is vibrationally very positive, and it's big. So, Tree of Life. You are at the end of a cycle. You are at the end of a cycle. This is what I'm getting from this. This is not what the card means, I don't think, but this is intuitively what I'm getting from it. This cycle, this end of a cycle, first and foremost, let's talk about the end of a cycle. An end of a cycle means two things: an end and a new beginning. Sometimes I get comments about speaking about ends, that somehow I am talking about negativity. There's nothing negative about ending something that is no longer serving you. If anything, it is massively positive. Now, it may feel uncomfortable because you're used to it, but it doesn't mean it's negative. I don't bring in information of negative nature. That is not how I work. That is not how my team works. My passion is to inspire you to grow, not to diminish you and keep you small. That is opposite of what my passion is and what I do. But yes, being at the end of a cycle denotes endings and new beginnings. And through these endings and new beginnings, you are becoming much more compassionate towards yourself and towards others. This is will be interesting to see what the other two piles are, but this is massive. This is massive. So let's go a little bit deeper and ask, what is this massive shift, this cycle, ending of cycle, mean to you? So I'm going to use these cards. I forget what they're called. Again, there is a link down below. And let's see. Oh, that was quite interesting. Here's what's ending. Delusion of control. You are letting go or learning how to let go of being overly in control. You may have a controlling behavior. You may feel like unless you control everything, everything is going to go to shits. Anything to do with control. As a matter of fact, humanity at large is dealing with the delusion of control, because the reality is there's very, very, very few things we can actually control. What we can control more than anything is our own mind, and even that we have difficulty with controlling. So if you've had challenges with control, fearing control, not being in control, or fearing of not being in control, or being in control too much, where everything is, you have to have control over everything, this is likely what you are ending in terms of a cycle. Now, does that mean that you're going to feel no control over your life? No, not at all, but it's going to be in a different way. And you are moving from being very rigid or overly rigid to almost like stepping back a little bit and allowing life to flow through you rather than trying to manipulate or control things the way you want them. Now, it doesn't mean that your life is not going to flow the way you want it to flow, or you will not have what you're desiring, but it does mean that the way it's going to flow to you is going to be different. You are going to allow it to flow through you and to you rather than forcing on pushing it. And that is huge. I just heard drumming somewhere and I didn't know where it was coming from. In fact, I hear it now. Very interesting. Somebody's drumming like a ceremonial drum. I don't believe my neighbor does that. Not that I know of, but anyway. So if you hear something, that's me. So your next chapter is denoted by learning how to be more at peace with the flow of life and in less resistance to what is transpiring. And that is not an easy feat for someone who needs to feel in control all the time. And remember, the control comes from the mind. The heart is all about the flow. So this is likely what you are going through. I'm going to pull one more card. It's this deck. Yeah, somebody's drumming. So I apologize for this. I just have to go with the flow. I have a feeling that when I talked about control a few weeks ago, there was also something happening with my neighbor. I think the neighbor was playing loud music, and it's just like I needed to go with the flow because I couldn't control it. What else do you need to know? Spirit messages. Observe your limitations. I feel that currently, or at least in the recent past, you may have been closed off to spirit messages. So if you have been receiving spirit messages, that this message is either not for you, or it simply means that the level of your openness was not as great as it could be and as it will be. Okay? This is also saying that you are moving to a space of your own journey, where certain messages will be flowing to you and helping you recognize what you deem as your limitations. What you deem as your limitations. And as long as you deem something as your limitation, you will limit yourself. And For some reason, this control and your limitations go hand in hand. Because when we try to over control things, we limit the experiences that we could be having. By trying to over control things, over manipulate, we are limiting ourselves from experiences. That's just the way it is. And in reality, to control is something is to limit. Okay? So you will be receiving messages, and you probably already are, with regards to what you deem as your limitations and how you limit yourself. Perhaps this message about control is going to make you think a little bit and allow you to notice within yourself that maybe you have been trying to control things a little bit, may I say too much, and thus not allowing the flow of life to move through you, which when we allow flow of life to move through us, we experience less resistance. Less resistance also means less struggle, but we actually end up experiencing things beyond our former thoughts or imaginations. So this is what I have for you. I'm being drawn to the number 34. This may be very significant to you in the month of July. 3 is expansion. 4 to me represents building new foundations, building new structures, restructuring. So you are very much restructuring your life from inside out. And as a result of this restructuring, you will be looking at issues around control. Okay, either too much control, not enough control, delusion of control. Okay, feeling controlled, all these kinds of things. And this is like I said, very prevalent right now in the world. Okay, you are also in a process of letting go of some of the control you have been exerting. And let me repeat that. This is not an easy process. Surrendering is not an easy process when we are used to trying to control things our way. Not easy at all, because when we try to control things, most of the time we do it for safety reasons. I mean, we have our own ego explanations why we do it, but at the end of the day, if you boil it down to one ingredient, it is 9 times out of 10 to do with safety and security. So you're obviously shifting in terms of safety and security, your inner safety and security, and that is going to allow you to let go of some of the control. Okay, and here's what I'm being asked to say. The universe can't support you if you believe that there isn't support for you. Let me rephrase. The universe can, but you're not going to allow it. If you don't believe that the universe can support you, or if you don't believe that there is something out there to support you, you will absolutely have a lot more need to control, yes. But then you will be living out your truth. So for some of you, and this is mother related, for some of you it's mother, not for everybody, your need for control stems from something your mother did or didn't do, or something that was happening to her. And doesn't mean you and your mother are not close. It doesn't mean that, but there is the control issues or challenges are stemming for many of you from your mother. Okay, so by being at the end of a cycle, we are likely cutting generational ties in terms of attachments that keep us from being more of who we are. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Pile number 1. All right, let's move on to pile number 2. If you are drawn to pile number 2, what I hear is the clock is ticking, the time is now. For some sort of a change, like the title of this transmission, That is indicative of your next chapter that is beginning right now. You two are in the process of shifting gears. For some of you, you're moving on from one project to the next, and project can mean anything. It could be situational, it could be related to a work project, it could be related to the type of work that you do. For some of you, this could denote shift in relationship, but for most of you, it is connected to how you bring in money, how financially, it's financially connected. I see some of you taking your plans, leaving a situation or a company, and taking your plans with you somewhere else. And you are no longer engaged with the people that you were engaged with before, or a company, and you are moving, I want to say you're moving sides, which is interesting. So however that comes off across to you, you're moving sides, you're moving to the other side. I'm not getting anything more clear than that, but there's something about shifting sides, moving to another side, perhaps moving to another continent for some of you, not for all of you, obviously. And whatever this move is, however it appears to you, and again, I feel for most of you it's financially connected, it's time to make this move. It seems to be your decision, and it is a decision that you are making in order to leave your current circumstances and move on to something that is far better for you. Having said that, the initial move will feel a little bit scary because you're leaving something that was prosperous at once, something that you've gotten used to, something that began to feel familiar, which when it's familiar, it feels solid and stable often. And you are making the choice to leave all of that behind. So you are making the choice to leave the familiar, the safe, and the stable behind. Does that mean that you are not going to something that is stable and something that is safe? Not at all. But there is a space in between, and that's called transition. So you are in transition right now. And this is a time that requires a lot of contemplation. I see you contemplating. For some of you, I see you sitting by a tree, by a huge oak tree, which to me represents knowledge. And you are seeking guidance from the inside. So perhaps you are making a move to leave, but you are not quite sure exactly where you are going to, or what you are going to, or what you will be doing next. And you are taking the time to gain inside information. When I say inside information, is information from your inside, from inside of you, in order to guide you. Ultimately, you will be given a direction, and I see someone pointing at the direction you are going to take next. This direction is being given to you by a guide. I don't feel it's a person, although it could be, but this direction is not spoken. It's like you're being pointed to a certain direction. So you may notice synchronicities coming into your life that point you in a certain direction. I'm not getting a lot of spoken words, so it's not going to be for everybody. For some of you, you will hear it spoken, but for most of you, this is an internal guidance that doesn't use voice or words. It's more of a feeling, more of a knowing, more of an inner intuitive prompting knowing. And in order for you to take this guidance, you have to trust it and yourself, because this guidance is pointing you to something that is a big challenge, but it's a challenge that not only are you able to face, It's a challenge you're able to overcome and get on top of it. And when you get on top of it, you see your world from a completely different view, from a completely different perspective. So you are also at crossroads, which I'm assuming all three piles will be indicative of that. And between now and fall, so I am recording this at the beginning of June of 2022, and between now and fall, or whenever you hear this, your next fall, there is something quite substantial that you will be focusing on. And for some of you, it's a project. It's some big project. Now, project could be anything. It could be work related, it could be situation, it could be anything, right? For some of you, you are rebuilding your home. It is physically, you are building a new home, and that comes with its own challenges. Or it's a figure of speech where you are rebuilding your home. You are starting new, starting over, starting fresh. So for some of you, there's an indicator that you are leaving a certain situation behind and you are moving on to something new and something different. And for some of you, is you're leaving your partnerships, you're leaving your partner, you are letting go of your partner. There is a change of dynamic in partnerships. So it's either romantic partnerships, but for many of you, this will be partners with regards to how we earn a living. It has a financial connection to it. So let's see if we can get a little bit more clarity as to what area this is going to show up in. And as I'm shuffling the cards, you are being guided to assume responsibility for yourself. Can we give a little bit more information on that? Okay. Don't worry what other people think of you right now. Worry, or don't worry, but be concerned more about what you think of you. If some people feel that you are crazy making this move, it's their prerogative. They have their own reasons why they would not choose that. If you are making a choice to move from somewhere, then you must have your reasons. And as long as these reasons are important reasons to you, you're going to make that move. And for some of you, and I hope it's not a lot of you, but for some of you, there will be certain people in your life that will push you away because of the choices that you are making. And they will have their own reasons why they're doing that. But there will be some of you that will experience friendships falling apart because of the decision that you are making. If people who you believe are your friends cannot support you in something that is important to you and means a lot to you, providing you're not doing something foolish and making quote unquote major mistakes where you're going to end up being hurt or hurting somebody. I'm not talking about that stuff, obviously. But if you are making a choice or a decision that is heartfelt and you are making this choice because you're being guided, your internal guidance is saying, this is your next move, and your friends or colleagues don't agree with that or can't support you in that, then that simply means that those friendships have reached their purpose, and now it's time for you to find new friends and new colleagues. And this often happens when couples split apart. All of a sudden, friends are no longer friends, or friends take sides. It's very difficult all around. I don't feel that's for most of you. For a lot of you, this is, like I said, it has to do with money, and I have the card that proves that. But for some of you, you will be, your decision is not going to satisfy other people because you will be doing something that is not according to what they would do. Here's the deal. They live their life, you live your life. And if how you live your life doesn't reflect their beliefs, they have choices. They either appreciate that about you. There's another word I want to say. They let you be you and make your own decisions, or they decide that you're not for them anymore, and that means they're not for you. So there will be some breakups of friendships, I'm afraid. But whenever that happens, and I've gone through it myself, it simply means that these friends have lived their purpose in your life. They've served their purpose, thank you. And now you're ready to move on to a whole new beginning, which looks like may include new friendships. So here's where this is likely to happen for you. So the cards that came across or came through is the Nine of Swords. And I actually didn't realize it was covering this. So you are likely moving in your life's experience where you are assuming a role of being your own boss. You are determined to make a living your way as opposed to somebody else's way, according to somebody else's way. And you are not letting anything stop you. And you are very successful. You see this Queen of Coins. She's dressed in green. Green symbolizes a lot of healing. What I also want to say is, as you go through this process, there is something about your body that is being healed. And she is looking in a certain direction, and she is firm. She's also supported by the universe. The universe supports her. But at first, she has some fears about it. Naturally so. Okay? So I just want to show you this. You might be experiencing a lot of anxiety. Things coming up to the surface, a lot of fears coming up. What if I can't make it? What if this isn't going to work? What if what I believe in is not going to come true? What if, in terms of the negative? What if it works? What if whatever you're imagining is going to end up coming true? What if you're capable of making it happen? What if you can be successful? What if you can make it work? Okay, so for pile number two, that is, a lot of it is connected to your financial, like I've mentioned at the very beginning. And naturally, because it is how we live in this world, we, for the most part, need money to live. It's an exchange of energy in our 3D physical world. Naturally, if you are leaving a situation that was once financially stable and you are moving on and you don't quite know what that is for you yet, naturally, you're going to feel scared. It's absolutely natural for you to feel that. However, it does not mean that where you are going or what you are thinking of is wrong or shouldn't happen or you shouldn't pursue it. It simply means before you get to this space, you have to face some of your fears. Perhaps some of the fears are, what if I'm not good enough? What if I don't have what it takes? What if people will not buy what I have to sell? What if people don't like what I have to offer? If there is something that you have to offer, there will be people who will want it. If there would be no one who wants it, you wouldn't have it to offer. It's as simple as that. The difference is now what's between your ears. And one of the things that I did before I turned on the camera is I wrote a little channeled writing that basically talks about where you put your energy. And what it literally says is this: where do I want to be relative to where I am right now? Or what do I want the outcome to be? And choose this direction by assuming the responsibility for each action you take that takes you closer to that outcome. If you practice believing in your outcome, you are likely less to not achieve it. On the other hand, if the vision you hold for yourself is met with "I can't," your life will reflect that instead. Be mindful of your projections. Now, for your projections, decide the outcomes. When we're at crossroads, this is what we naturally feel. We have a lot of stuff come up in terms of our limitations, our perceived limitations, our illusions of our limitations, in terms of what we were fed information-wise when we were young, what we were taught. And all these belief systems are likely to come up to the surface now. You are likely to question your abilities. Can I do this? Can I make it work? And I've been there myself, not that long ago, actually. When I left my corporate world, and I was told by my team that I'm no longer going back. Of course, I wasn't forced. I was just told, Joanna, you're not supposed to go back to that world. You're supposed to be doing this, okay? Supposed to. And I remember when I first got that message, I was terrified. Absolutely terrified. And my biggest fears came up in my face. The biggest one being the fear of being abandoned if I follow what is true to me. So you might have some of those things coming up for you so that you can face it. And the only way to deal with fear is to work through it, not to avoid it, not to push it away, not to mask it, not to make yourself busy, not to pretend that it's not there, not to deny it, but to look it in the face and face it. Once you do that, I promise you, once you do that, this is where you end up. So whether you're male or female makes no difference. It simply means that you are sure of yourself, you are financially stable, you make good business decisions. This is often portrayed as a business person, so businesswoman, businessmen. And you're not scared of taking chances. Of course, chances always come with some risks. And there's nothing wrong with taking calculated risks. We take risks every single day. From the moment we get up in the morning, we just don't think of these things as risks because we've done them so many times. They just are part of naturally what we do. We trust it. We trust the process. Okay? So if you are feeling this right now, if your mind is on top of you, as I say, if you are being pulled in a whole bunch of different directions in terms of being fearful, know that that too is okay and it will pass, but it is allowing you to face your fears. I want you to see this is the outcome. Focus on this outcome. See yourself as this queen or king of pentacles. Safe and secure, stable, financially stable, stable in your physical world. Have that vision of yourself in front of your mind every single day. Every time you have this vision in your mind, it's where your energy goes. It's where the energy flows. Where the energy flows is what transpires. Okay? If you focus on this, it's going to be harder for you to reach this. Okay? Obviously, if you need help with facing your fears, which in my experience generally involves inner child work, I love inner child work, then by all means, just click on the link below, and I will be more than happy to help you. Let me see what other message wants to come through for pile number 2. You're definitely changing directions. And there's a lot of positive movement forward for you. But you're taking a chance. There's absolutely, you're taking a chance. And the chance that you are taking, providing it is a chance that you are being guided to take. You're not just listening to people to tell you what they think they should do, because unless it aligns with you, and the only way you will know whether it aligns with you or not is when you tune in. Otherwise, you won't know. You're just going to blindly trust what somebody else thinks is good for you. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you get the picture. Okay. Light codes. Okay. So right now, you are in a position where there is a lot of information available for you, but you're not in a space to receive it. And the reason why you're not in a space to receive it is because of this guy. Okay. Your mind is too focused on fears. And again, nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly normal, standard procedure as far as I'm concerned. But because of this, you're not able to receive a higher frequency information that's coming to you. So let me see what they want me to say. It says here, travel awaits you. So there's 2 messages here. For some of you, this is literally a message of you traveling to some distant places. Perhaps your work is going to involve traveling. Perhaps you will be taking some time off to travel. There's movement, there's travel being indicated. If it is not physical travel, between geographical travel, then that means you're traveling to other destinations in terms of other dimensions. And this is likely for many of you. You actually have access, everybody does, but specifically pile 2, you have access to multidimensional beings who are there to support you if you ask them for it. They're not going to force themselves upon you, because they can't. You have free will. Perhaps you don't know that you have access to multidimensional beings. If you didn't, I'm telling you, you do. And all you have to do is just go, okay, I decide that I have access to multidimensional beings. Okay, show me the way, and then see what comes up. See what comes to you. And these messages could come to you, or this information could come to you intuitively, in dreams, telepathically, from other sources, maybe information like this, from a channel like this. And this is a higher frequency connection. What does that mean? It means that you are energetically becoming more attuned to higher frequencies. And I see, I just see a lot of higher frequency beings wanting to connect with you. Perhaps for some of you, the type of work you are moving into is more like a channeler or a healer, or someone who is going to be connecting with multi-dimensional beings in order to bring information through to help support people, so help support humanity. And you may be coming from a very conventional workplace and going into something that is still highly unconventional. And you may have friends who may think of you as weird. They may not support you doing that. And if they don't, that's okay. All it means is that you are no longer vibrationally aligned. And by letting go of these friends, these people, you are making room for those who are more vibrationally aligned with you. Okay? Also, for some of you, you can see through people. There's something about you that allows you to see through people. And for many of you, you've always known this, but it wasn't spoken of. This is something that you did not speak of. And your ability, because it is an ability, it's a gift. This gift is now going to be fundamental in the work that you are going to be doing. Or maybe you are doing this work already, but now you're going to be doing it on a far greater scale. This could be anything from being an energetic healer to channeler. I want to say tarot reader, but it's more than that. Not diminishing tarot readers at all, but it's connecting with multidimensional beings and different star systems. So if this connects with you, if it rings true, if it resonates, it is going to help you achieve this. This will be the result of this. Okay? Fantastic. Absolutely beautiful. Is there anything else? Trust yourself. This is a test of faith for you. One of the previous videos, I talked about having faith and your faith being tested. And you are absolutely at a new beginning. Okay? Absolutely at a new beginning. You may not know where you're going exactly, but you are absolutely at a new beginning. Yeah, your faith may be tested right now, and that's okay. It's a very transformative process you're going through. You are likely to feel naked, and I don't mean without clothes, but vulnerable. And so I thought I lost a card. And feeling vulnerable is not very pleasant at first. Once you get used to it, it becomes a little bit more comfortable. But feeling vulnerable is not very pleasant. It's certainly not very comfortable. So you are likely to feel that right now as you go through this process. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Pile number 2. Wonderful news. Fantastic news. And by the way, if you need help with helping you become more confident, stepping more into your purpose, click on the link below and get yourself those transformational tools. I am sure some of these, if not all of these tools, will be very helpful in your journey. So now let's move on to pile number 3. Hello, pile number 3. This is going to be a series of messages for you. And as I'm shuffling cards, I'm using a different deck for you guys. There's a link down below. I am seeing you are about to unlock a door. This door opens you to a massive expansion. And when I say massive, I mean massive. It is the type of massive expansion that I go, oh, in a positive way. It is so big, it's startling. For some of you, this involves plant medicine. If you know what that is, if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, then it's not for you. And that's all I'm going to say about it. If it's meant for you, it'll be like bing. For some of you, you are drawn to a jungle. I guess I'll be talking about it. Okay. This trip to a jungle, and I hear the word Andes. I sucked in geography, by the way, guys. So Andes, where's Andes? Where's Andes? I am terrible. I'm sorry. Andes. And oops, I can't even type. Andes. Andes. Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, or Argentina. All right. So, pardon me, I've got sniffles. You are drawn to the Andes. You are drawn to South America or South American countries. And you are going on some pretty exciting trip. This trip, and this is not going to be for everyone, but even if this doesn't resonate with you, a year from when you are hearing this, I believe it's going to make sense. I work with plant medicine. It is a phenomenally powerful, powerful tool. It is not for everybody. It is absolutely not for everybody. But it is life transforming, life affirming, and life changing, to say the least. And it looks like some of you will be partaking in some sort of ceremonies that will help you open this door, or that will open this door to this massive expansion. And like I said earlier, it is going to be startling at first. For some of you, you're already there. You're already there. So you're about to go there. You're about to experience something. You're about to have a life-affirming situation, something that's going to blow your socks and blow your mind. In fact, it's going to blow your mind wide open. Now, when our minds are blown open, as they often are with help of plant medicine, for example, it doesn't have to be, it could be through transcendental meditation, it could be through other means, but oftentimes it is through plant ceremonies, plant medicine. Oftentimes when our minds are blown, the ego gets a bit of a beating. And here's why. Your entire existence as you know it comes crashing down. Not because your life is coming to crush down, not because your life is crashing down, but because your entire belief system basically goes poof. And all of a sudden, what you deemed as your identity quite literally goes out the window. It is often shocking to the system. It is, for those of you who have experienced plant medicine, you know what I mean. It is not something that can be put into words. It can only be experienced. But again, I'm not condoning or saying you should partake with plant medicine. Pardon me. That is not what I'm saying, because it's not for everybody. It is absolutely not for everybody. But you pick this pile for some reason. And chances are you are being drawn to the Andes. Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, or Argentina. And I feel giddy inside when I say this to you, because this experience, however it shows up in your life for you, is going to change your life. Let me rephrase. You will change your life as a result of having your socks blown off and your mind blown off. And I want to say your mind is going to be blown off to the eternity. I don't even know exactly what that means, but it basically signifies it's big. Your mind will be blown. You will feel like a kid again. You will experience going back to the basics and finding pleasure in the simplest of things, all of a sudden what you deemed as important in the typical 3D world loses its importance. It's not that it's not going to be important at all, but the significance of how important something was, the significance of that is going to go way down. And instead, you will be choosing a different lifestyle. You will be choosing a different life. And I keep wanting to say, this is going to be life affirming. And for some of you, this is what I hear you say. This is what I'm here for. You will understand without the shadow of any doubt what you're here for. Now, I often talk about life purpose. Our life purpose is to experience, and then there is a whole bunch of experiences we are here to experience. And yes, we come with a certain blueprint, with a certain idea that our soul has in order to experience. But then as a human being, we have free will and we can choose or not to choose to follow our blueprint. And for many of you, as a result of this experience, however it comes to you, whether it's through plant medicine, whether it's through some other ceremonies, whether it's through some activations, and I hear Mayan activations, your life is going to change and your life's purpose, if you will, is going to be revealed. It's going to be looking at you right in the face and you will not be able to deny it. And I'm giddy, and I got chills all over me as I say that. And I want to say, yes, finally, you understand the true meaning behind why you are here. And it's not tied to one thing. It's way bigger than that. And I'm trying to search for words, and I can't even speak it. Oftentimes there's no words to speak what I'm experiencing. And chances are, whatever you will be experiencing, you will have difficulty with trying to put it into words. Because the type of experience that I'm talking about cannot be put into words. And for some of you, you will meet God, quotation marks, for the very first time, and your idea of God or the universe is completely going to change. Pile number 3. This is phenomenal. If this makes sense to you already, I would love for you to comment down below. If this makes no sense, then perhaps this message is not for you. But if you were drawn to this, it may not make sense to you right now, but mark my words. A year from now, so let's say whenever you're listening to it, a year from now, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And it could be the furthest thing from your mind right now. As a matter of fact, you might be saying, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. And a year from now, you will be blown. Your mind will be blown. And your entire world is going to open up to you. And as a result of that, you may be experiencing what is called an existential crisis. Or you might be experiencing an existential crisis right now, which, what does that mean? It's basically questioning the reason for you being alive. And this experience is going to show you the truth or the true nature of why you're here. why you exist, why you are in a physical body, having had the experiences that you did, having had the family that you have, having chosen to incarnate at this specific time. All of this will be revealed to you. And I know I'm repeating myself, so I apologize for that, but this is mind-blowing. And by the way, you are safe. I am being shown you are safe. For some of you, this experience will be with the assistance of mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms. Again, I am not condoning the use of anything unless it is safe and you approach it with nothing less than total respect. So, let's see what else the universe wants you to know. This is called storm fields. Okay, you see there is a storm coming here. And when there's a storm, there's usually clouds. What does that mean? It means that when there are clouds, you can't see clearly. You might be experiencing a certain storm right now. You might be literally feeling like you're losing your own identity. However, you're not losing identity, you are shifting in the way you identify yourself. And that is equivalent to the death of the ego. When we experience ego death, we literally are like a butterfly in chrysalis coming out of the cocoon to experience for the very first time its wings and ability to fly, which stands for freedom. This is not what you might be experiencing now, but this is ultimately where you are being led. Okay? The 9 to me signifies September. So for some of you, the month of September is going to be very significant. And they actually gave me this, the month of September when I was talking first, before I took the cards. So for some of you, September is going to be very significant. It is going to mark an end of a cycle, and you will come full circle around the month of September. 9 is also about letting go. When we have big experiences like that, however they show up in your life, and again, they're life affirming, we are confronted by some of our fears, or a lot of our fears. And this confrontation is absolutely necessary in order to move through this storm to the other side, where there is clarity, where there's no clouds and nothing is blocking our view. So if you are feeling this right now, just know that this storm is going to pass. Storm makes things feel chaotic, uncomfortable, sometimes even unsafe, where we feel unsafe. It doesn't mean that we're not safe, but we are feeling unsafe, and whatever we feel, we deem as true. But you are being guided through this process. So again, pile number 3, you are going through some big ass transformation of the next year or so, of the next 12 months. And the year 2023 and 2024 is going to look very different to you than where you are right now. You are literally assuming a brand new identity. Okay? Let me see what else I see here. Something is coming to you that you're unaware of yet. This something is a new possibility which you have not thought of yet, or you did not believe that was available to you. And it's going to come to you seemingly out of nowhere. And for some of you, this denotes a higher level of respect you have for yourself and for existence itself. And this opportunity is going to change the path you are taking. You are assuming, or will be assuming, a different role for yourself. You are literally shifting identities, and there's no other way for me to say it. You are changing who you think you are. And who you think you are dictates your experiences. So when you change who you think you are, it means you will be experiencing different types of experiences. Ones that are now more aligned with you. And that's because you are changing. Okay? The magical magical map shifter is basically saying, expect the unexpected. You might have been traveling in a certain direction just to realize that the universe has different plans for you. Now, we have this thing called free will, so you have a choice to follow what the universe is proposing for you, or stay the path that you were traveling. If this resonates with you, and if you choose to resist, it's going to take a lot of effort to keep doing the same thing to remain where you are. Because you, quote unquote, are not supposed to be here anymore. You're not supposed to be on your current path anymore. You're supposed to be somewhere different. And you might be questioning your path right now. You might be questioning your identity. You might be questioning, what am I here for? What's my purpose? All of that I've said before, this is what it's indicating. I'm actually being drawn to read the specific meaning of this card. For some reason, they want me to read that to you. So let's just give me 1 second. Number 52. Again, 5 and 2 is 7. 7 to me is symbolic for me personally of enlightenment, major transformation. 5 is change. 2 is choices and decisions. So major changes and decisions as a result of these changes are afoot. Okay. Reverse, the magical map shifter card may bring you the opposite of what you seek. Perhaps you're in denial about your situation and refuse to see the truth. Or maybe you've been traveling down a path that has constantly led you to a field of poppies, where you fall asleep and dream of desires that never find their form. To have the life you really want, you must match its vibrational energy and resonate with it. Sometimes our greatest hurts and disappointments are what awakens us to our need to shift to a higher frequency. What have I been saying? If your heart aches because someone is breaking it, this discomfort will lead you to a more authentic life. Don't linger in the pain or blame the magical map shifter for altering you to the illusion you clung to. Know that treasure lies elsewhere and can be recovered once you've healed the wound that is reflected in those who come to you as catalysts for growth. As you experience yourself transforming into the highest version of yourself, you'll come to understand that you're always fortunate when you meet with a magical map shifter. Need I say more? All I'm going to say is trust the process. And let me just pick the cards. This is very much connecting to the storm. Don't resist what's happening, although it might be challenging. Full on disclaimer. because the map shifter has other plans for you, where you are being led to live a more authentic life, to live out more of your purpose according to your soul's blueprint. Again, the number 7 is being shown. So for some of you, July may be a very important month, or something with the number 7. Okay? And I hear you are qualified to get to the next step. You are qualified to move on to the next step. Perhaps you have been questioning whether you are qualified to move to the next step of your life in terms of what you want to do, what you are wanting to accomplish, what you are wanting to attract. And the universe says, yes, you are qualified to move to the next step. Okay? So that's the first set of cards. Let's see where this might be affecting you, in what area of your life. And just so you know, you may not be thrilled with the chaos that you are experiencing or will be experiencing, but mark my words, this chaos is intended for you to see things much more clearly. If you think of a storm, often after a storm, you feel the fresh is clean, and the air is clean, the air is fresh, everything is alive again, because the storm cleared the clutter, it cleared the dust, it cleared the stagnating energies, and everything is fresh and new, as if a brand new day. This is what's happening for you, pile number 3. Your life is being cleared from all the clutter that is weighing you down, in order to help you have a fuller life experience, to live your life to the fullest. And oftentimes we are not able to live our life to the fullest if we are stuck in situations that are no longer serving our purpose. This is representing conflict with other people, conflict with yourself. I'm also hearing the word separation. You might be going through some sort of a separation or a breakup. It doesn't necessarily mean a separation from a lover or partner, but a separation from some situation. And for some of you, this separation is going to be either as a result of you having this massive experience that blows your mind off and you decide that's it, or this conflict is leading you to this experience that will ultimately show you the truth. Okay? There's a lot of power struggle here going on, a lot of power struggle. You are struggling with your own power. And perhaps you're struggling with another and you are in a power struggle situation. And if that's the case, one of the things that's helpful to ask yourself is, why am I having this power struggle? If it's struggle with your own power, why are you struggling with your power? Why are you struggling with your power? Do you not believe that you are a powerful person? Do you not believe that you're a powerful being? Because you're immense. And if you're going where I see you're going, for those of you who are drawn to Peru, Argentina, Andes, you're going to be shown your power. And that's going to blow your socks off. It's going to blow your mind. Expect the unexpected is what I hear. And as a result of that, your own expectations of you and your life are going to change. They're going to be dramatically altered. Now, when we think of the idea of alteration, we alter things in order to help them fit better. your life is in a process of alteration, because the way it has been no longer fits. It no longer fits your soul's purpose. This is amazing as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely stunning. It's a big undertaking, file number 3. But if you're on this journey, your soul, you are asking for it on some level. You may not be asking for the chaos, but whatever you are asking for cannot happen first without the chaos to clear things out of your life, to clear the clutter. I'm going to pull one more card for you for additional guidance, and here it is. Guard your energy. Number 19, which leads to number 10, which is end of cycles. One is a new beginning. Whenever we have a new beginning, we often have to let something else go. You are being asked to be mindful of your energies. When you start working with energies, you understand, well, for one, you're a powerful, energetic being, and everything is energy. But when you start working with energies, you realize just how powerful your words are in terms of energies, your own energies, how you give energies, how you receive energies. Being mindful of your own energies. Help me understand more, please. Knowing who you are beyond the structures of your limited ego amplifies your own energy, your own frequency. When you embody the higher frequency, you automatically embody more power, more higher frequency, more energy. But this is a bit of, I don't want to say a warning, but it is, I want to say mind your own energy. Be mindful who you give your energy to, what you give your energy to, what situations you give your energy to. For example, if you are in a toxic relationship and you give your energy to a toxic relationship, you are creating more of that in your life because that's what you are feeding. On the other hand, if you want something different, you have to stop feeding this situation and giving it your energy, and you have to shift your focus and give your energy somewhere else. And that indicates a movement, an energetic movement. So, for the sake of repeating myself, but I will anyway, if you have chosen pile number 3, enormous things are in store for you. Enormous, absolutely mind-blowing. You are going to start playing your own music. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to play an instrument. You could, but that's not the message. Playing your own music means you're going to become your own authentic person. One without the feelings of lack that you might be currently experiencing. You're going to shed that. You're going to shed that skin, much like a snake sheds its skin, in order to have a brand new rebirth, brand new beginning. Absolutely stunning. Pile number 3. I don't remember the last time I felt this strong about a message. I can't recall. It's absolutely incredible. So this is what I have for you, pile number 3. I'm very happy for you. I understand the level of restructuring it takes on your life and the discomfort that goes potentially with it. But you can't have this without going through the discomfort. That's unfortunately just the nature of things. So if you're feeling uncomfortable right now or will be feeling uncomfortable, know that that's part of the process. That's part of you tearing your ego apart in order to embody a brand new identity, one that is high, much higher vibrating. It is absolutely, I can't say it enough, it's absolutely stunning, pile number 3. Stunning. So this is what I have for you. If you would like to partake in the transformational tools that myself and my team have come have channeled, click the link below and start using them and help yourself in this massive process on your journey. And it is a massive undertaking. So thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. Do let me know how these messages resonate with you. And again, if this doesn't make sense to you right now, chances are it'll make sense to you later. After all, you are drawn to a certain pile for a reason. So I look forward to hearing your comments, seeing your comments. If you would like me to help you in your transitional journey, your transformational journey, there's a link down below. Click on the link and myself and my team would be honored to help you through the process. Thank you again so much, and see you soon.